Welcome to my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. I'm Diogen Z, and this is our rival Silver. Tell me something. Is it true that Team Rocket has returned? What? You beat them? Ha! Quit lying. You're not joking? Then let's see how good you are. Ha 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 ha. Alright, taking on our rival Silver right from the get-go. Let's go. As you can see, he has a team change right off the bat. Pretty nice, huh? He's got 2 additional Pokemon other than his starter. And we have 3 other Pokemon other than our starter. We have Cyndaquil, Prince Dozo, Charbok, and Mr. Poof, everybody's favorite weakling. But, like I said, I don't want to get too down on Hoppip's case now because he will become a big team player in the future. So other than my rival's team being of interest, something else that you probably took notice to if you have a keen ear is that the music is different. That's right, Pokemon Remix Studio strikes again with a rival remix. And let me know once again what you think of having alternate music for the rival battles. It's just something that I always thought Nintendo should have done a long time ago that they never got around to doing that I'm just going to do now. If Nintendo doesn't want to have cool, important battle music for key players, then I simply will find my own. So let me know what you think, guys. Should I do the music replacement or just keep the traditional rival music? Because he does have his own custom song, but we heard it on the first episode, so this is the second time that we're facing him. Definitely not the second episode. And actually, I think we saw him just a couple episodes in from last when we saw him steal... what did he steal? Right, he stole Totodile. I almost thought he stole Chikorita there, but he didn't. He certainly did not. That would be foolish, because Cyndaquil is stronger. And by this point, he's got his starter evolved. And we kept ours low, and usually, if I was playing on my own, I would have my starter evolved. But like I said, I'm trying something different this time around. Something that I really have never done before in any Pokemon game, to be honest with you. And that is curb evolution to learn moves that otherwise would take longer to learn if I had evolved. Basically, Pokemon will learn moves, stronger moves, faster if you keep them in their unevolved forms. Of course, the downside of that is that they have less of a stat boost, but I just want to see if having the better moves will counterbalance the stat lost, because I've never tried it before. So what better time than here? What better time than now? And don't kill Mr. Poof. I think I'm going to have to end up using a potion on Poof. I want him to get tons of experience from this guy. And facing an evolved Pokemon? Hell yeah. That is a hella experience boost for Mr. Poof. Aha, we don't even have to use a potion. So there. But I want to see if I can just laugh in his face. Ha 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 ha. We use a potion anyway for good measure. Plus he's got one more Pokemon left, and that is a Zubat. And that should be enough to put Mr. Poop over at level 17. So let's switch it out. To Cyndaquil. We've been fighting you long enough. Oh, I was about to go and call you your old name, Mr. S, but Silver, you two have come a long way. Back from the Heart Gold walkthrough, and you can only have, like, what, 5 spaces for your name? And it was Mr. S. Now it's full-blown Silver. Not very characteristic. But the first thing I think I called my rival, other than question mark, question mark, question mark, I mean, that was the absolute first thing that I called him. But at some point, for some reason this sticks out in my mind, I remember calling him Roy. And I don't know why I called him Roy, but that just came to my mind. Like, he looks like a Roy. I think I'm going to call him that. So Silver / Roy / question mark / Mr. S was defeated. Useless Pokemon. Listen, you only won because my Pokemon were weak. Oh, I thought your whole motto was only the strong survive. What happened to that? I hate the weak. Pokemon, trainers, it doesn't matter. Who or what? Old people? I'm going to be strong and wipe out the weak. That goes for Team Rocket, too. They act big and tough in a group, but get them alone, and they're weak. I hate them all. You stay out of my way. A weakling like you is only a distraction. So, that's pretty interesting. The plot thickens, even though you don't know why it thickens. For some reason, our rival has a big hatred towards Team Rocket. And you wouldn't think that somebody who's out pilfering Pokemon would be against someone whose organization is about stealing Pokemon. You wouldn't think the two would mix, or rather, bounce off each other in such a repellent way, but Silver has a bit of a deeper history than just hating Team Rocket for being weak, so we'll probably see what that's all about later, but I'll tell you this much. The game, in the first gen, in the first time around, not in the remakes, did not really elucidate any of that. And actually, come to think of it, since there has been no event that's been out yet, if you guys play by the books, and or if you just don't watch YouTube videos, because that's how I figured it out, that and going to Cerebi. But if you don't do any of that, you won't know the backstory between Silver and Team Rocket. Because I think, yeah, it's activated by a special event, and nothing has been released that I know of that activates it. A little news, not news, but a little blurb of the past. I always thought that I had to battle that Farfetch'd and try and catch it with a Pokeball. Of course, after chasing around that Farfetch'd for far too long, I figured out that was not what I was supposed to do. Ah, my Farfetch'd, you found it for us, kid? Without it, we wouldn't be able to cut trees for charcoal. Okay, so that's how he needs to know cut. Thanks, kid. Now, how can I repay you? I know, here, take this. Magical cut abilities! Alright, magical cut abilities, otherwise known as HM01. That's the Cut HM hidden machine that's used to small tree clears. That's what I was about to say, but is used to clear small trees. And with a quick stop at the Pokemon Center, we will use Cut on the small trees. Now, a lesser known fact about Cut, and these wild Pokemon are getting on my nerve already. Ilex Forest Shrine. It's in honor of the forest's protector, which is Celebi, which I think somebody asked me already in my channel comments, am I going after Celebi? Technically, there's no legit way to go after Celebi. I mean, it's completely in my own power to show you Celebi, even if it's not legit, so I guess I should really ask you guys, what do you think? Would you care to see me capture Celebi in the future, even though it's not legit? I don't think many people would mind if it's not, but just want to double check. So, little lesser known fact about Cut in this game, and I don't even know if this is true in the original games, but I know for sure that it's true in these games, is that you can go into patches of grass and use Cut to cut the grass around you. This way, if you didn't have Repel because you were too cheap, because honestly, I think you could get 99 Repel by Goldenrod City, which we are almost to Goldenrod City. So I guess I can test that theory when we get there. But if you're too cheap to buy Repel, or you are out of Repel and you were in a jam and you can't battle any wild Pokemon, like right now, except we can't cut the Ilex Forest floor, so that's not going to do much of good for us. But if you are in a situation like that, you actually could use Cut and cut away some of the grass, which I always thought was awesome. What am I doing? I'm shaking trees using Headbutt. It's fun, here, you try. And in the remakes, there's a fat guy standing there that will give you, or is it just a move tutor, won't even give you the TM for Headbutt, because I don't think Headbutt in the current generation is a TM move. I may be incorrect about that, I'm not sure. But it's just a move tutor in the remake, and these wild Pokemon are on my last nerve. I was going to say they're on my last case, but the case is of my last nerve. So, ether was found, and we will carry onwards. Something funny that I forgot to mention back at that sign that we read was it said Ilex Forest, very high forest trees or something like that, and beware for things that may fall from above and look for lost items. Basically hinting that this is a place to find hidden items. So once you get the item finder, which we will be finding in another town, I don't want to spoil that, but we will be finding the item finder in another town. It hints to come back here because people drop their items from who knows where. I guess out of airplanes or hot air balloons. I really don't know. Never got that. I always wondered if there was some kind of tree houses above or some kind of forest city. A city in the trees. Which in the next generation afterwards, right immediately after that, Ruby and Sapphire had a town like that, which was kind of cool. But, yeah, I didn't understand that ever as a kid. I was like, well, where are these items coming from? Why are people dropping their items from the trees? What is this, just a gigantic tree climbing capital? People just come to Ilex Forest to climb trees and drop items? Is that the case? I don't know. I don't think that Nintendo really thought that sign out very well when they posted it. But I don't know if people knew this, but Gold and Silver was supposed to be the last game. So I guess it could be understood if they were a bit frantic to put everything that they did in the quote-unquote last games. But as soon as they saw how profitable Pokemon could be, there was no way they were going to let this thing die. And it's good and it's bad, because you definitely see how they put an epic struggle into Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And I didn't know that it was the last game for a long time. I recently just found that out like a month ago or so, that it was the last game, or was meant to be the last game in the series. But that was before the Pokemon Company came into existence, and it was just Game Freak. And once they figured it out, hey, this is a cash flow, we cannot stub this, they were like, keep it going. And I just felt like it's been kind of lacking heart since then. It's just they put so much effort into these games that, you know, the following games afterwards were just, I don't know. I think the main thing that really disappointed me was that there was no other regions to explore. I don't know if they understand this up in the big corporate, in the big corpocracy up there, but it's actually fun to go to other places besides Battle Frontiers. Sorry about that, I just got some message on my phone there I need to look at. But anyway, messages aside, I am here with you guys in the Pokemon White walkthrough. Pokemon White walkthrough, listen to me. Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. Flashback from my past, my goodness. Anyway, onwards to victory we shall go. Yeah, but I always thought that they should add more regions, if not past regions, just other regions to explore, because that really expanded the game big time. And if you talk to this lady here, you get another TM. So that's 2 technical and 1 hidden machine in one episode. And Sweet Scent, even though I won't be using it, can be used also in the wild to just stand where you are if you're too lazy to walk around in the grass and Sweet Scent it up. So I will see you in the next episode, guys.